What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of No Client Agent Privilege, aka NoCAP Podcast. It's your boy Evan, your boy Will. We are back under the Tiki Hut for another non-windy episode of NoCAP. And really, we are finally getting down. College football season flew by. Week 11 now. One more game left for a lot of teams, fighting for bowl eligibility, trying to stay in the playoff hunt, and really coming down to that Heisman vote now, too. I think the craziest thing I've heard all week so far is the whole Travis Hunter, jack of all trades but not a master of one. Jeanty being the best running back. Will Johnson being the best cornerback. The best receiver, the kid out of Arizona. I think we've kind of had that conversation before too, is like, what does the Heisman stand for? The best player in college football.
But what does best mean?
Right. What does the best really stand for? Is it the best, most impactful player? The best player to get it the most wins? It's so subjective to what best really means, because you have the best quarterback, Dylan Gabriel. But is he a Heisman candidate? Yeah, for sure. Is he overall the best player in college football? Maybe. I guess depending on how you look at it, he definitely could be.
I feel like we always have this conversation about the NBA MVP, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Like when the Embiid won,
yep,
and everyone was like, well, he might not be the best, or like whatever. It's always a narrative, right? So
right.
You look at Jeanty and how he comes from a group of 5, Mountain West.
Right.
He's doing some really great things, but then people are going to say, it's the Mountain West.
Right, what would he have done in the SEC?
Yeah, all that comes with it. So, especially because this is supposed to be a regular season award, right?
Right. It's not a playoff award. It's
like
the best,
MVP
the best regular season award.
A regular season award. I guess he would have to break some sort of record that's not just a school record.
For Jeanty?
To win. Yeah, especially because it says that Travis Hunter, his odds is minus 400.
Yeah, he's the favorite. He's still the favorite.
Clear favorite.
Right.
Jeanty is plus 400.
Right.
So it's not even like it's a plus 100 or, it's...
No, at this point, the next closest I would say is Dylan Gabriel. I don't even know where he sits.
I think it's actually Cam Ward. Yeah.
Cam Ward?
Ward is plus 1,200. And Dylan Gabriel is plus 2,500.
Wow, okay.
After being plus 275 last week.
Undefeated Oregon team that still really hasn't even, since the Ohio State game, really has put it on everyone.
Right.
That's actually...
But it's all about the story, right?
Right.
It's regular season, which I think Oregon could make the Natty. But it's all about regular season. It's all about the story.
Well, it's like the year Lamar won. Lamar was the best player on the field, but his team was okay. It was good.
Right.
Yeah, but it was better because of him.
When you have a story like Jeanty and you have Travis Hunter, who undeniably does some things that really haven't been seen before.
Yeah. When was the last time you've seen a two-way player be as impactful as him? And I think that's where my argument is with regards to the people that were saying the jack of all trades but not a master of none. But even when we talk about this award, the Heisman itself, it's the best player in college football. So that meaning when this guy's off the field, their team is completely different. Which I agree, Ashton Jeanty not being on the field definitely makes him different. But when Travis Hunter is not on both sides of the ball, that Colorado team is completely different.
Worse?
Yeah.
You think?
For sure. Because his impactfulness to be a playmaker changes the entirety of the game. You're scheming as an offensive coordinator, you're scheming to make sure that you're not throwing to his side. And as a defensive coordinator, you have to also scheme to not, get beat by him.
Right.
So it's like, how many players in the entire country do you have that, problem with?
And on the note of the narrative, simply put, when's the last time we saw something like this, and when are we ever going to see it again? So you kind of have to look at it and say if he's just out there playing and he's not really doing anything.
Right, if he wasn't making any plays.
But he is, so you kind
touchdowns,
of have to.
I mean, but I think, and again, and this is more so for the playing the devil's advocate here. Oh, but he gets beat, touchdowns. Oh, he gets, tackled easily. Like, all the, you could say about any player, that's always going to be the bad side of it. Like, he still got beat on touchdowns. Every corner does. Like, there's very few corners that are, like, don't give up any touchdowns. So it's like, you're always going to have the good with the bad, but it's like, again, what is the deciding factor to make him the best player versus the best running back, the best quarterback, the best receiver, whatever it may be? What is that argument to say, well, that's true, they are the best receiver? Well, he plays receiver too. Yeah, well, he's better. Oh, well, he plays corner too. Yeah, well, he's better.
Right.
So it's like, what is it? What is that going to be that deciding factor? And I'm glad I'm not a Heisman voter, because this one's tough.
Yeah,
like,
this one is
I couldn't
tough.
tell you.
I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to be a tough. It'll come down to these last two games. Colorado losing, I think, bumps Travis down a lot. I think he needs to show that he can win, make the team playoff contentions. Obviously, like you said, it sucks to say, but like playoffs, I think will still come into factor with regards to Colorado. Like, they got to win the Big 12, because then it'll definitely kind of solidify that with regards to Travis actually winning it. But the Heisman's not till January or whatever, so or December, whatever it is. December.
Oh well, the trophy ceremony is on December 14th.
December 14th, right? Yeah. Right after
the finals.
Right after all the conference championships.
Yeah, the finalists get announced a week before.
Right. So it'll be Dylan Gabriel, Travis Hunter, Ashton Jeanty, and Cam Ward, I guess. But again, Cam Ward, he gets so much backlash from losing that Georgia Tech game, but it's like, was it really him? Like,
nah, I don't think so. Nah,
that defense was sus. So.
Yeah, the defense just. Is that what that is? It's a sweater.
It's all good, little baby.
But yeah, if you want to keep it in college football, there were some firings. One in particular, if you want to keep it local, but there were a few, and there's probably going to be a few more.
Probably be a few more at this point.
FAU's real quick, and then whatever ones you want to talk about.
Charlotte got rid of their guy. He was there for forever. FAU plays them this weekend.
Right.
So
I don't get that FAU firing.
Two head coaches, both fired from the same, playing each other, interim head coaches. So, the whole Ray Lewis thing already went off. Like, we already know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
But yeah, the college football world, the pro football world, the firings that have already happened, and for pros, it's midway through the season. For the college, I can understand. There's a couple games left. If you already know you want to move on, so be it. Like, if that's how you're going to be.
So,
I
don't agree.
I don't agree. No, don't get me wrong. I don't agree with it, but I'm just saying.
Especially for, like... Oh, go ahead.
What I was going to say is, like, most of these GMs and stuff are now looking at it as a business. And it's not that I don't agree with that. It's just more to the extent that, like, here we go again. Like, we're saying we're taking the fun out of college football, blah, blah, blah. And it's true. Like, these coaches, these staffs are truly under a microscope to, if you don't win, you're gone. And it sucks because when you look at an Nick Saban who had his tenures at all the places where he was successful at, he had years and years of, building and able to create a culture. Whereas, like, Todd Herman, 3 years, not even 2 years, and gone.
Right.
Like, it's like, how do you expect them to be successful? FIU always happens, gone. Like, their coaching staff, boom, gone. It just takes 2 bad seasons, and everyone loses faith. I mean, you can't all be in Indiana like 1 year and with a new head coach, and you're undefeated.
Right. Well, I think that two things about the FAU is that first one, Tom Herman only had that one good season, I think, at Texas.
Right.
And Houston. He had some
Houston,
good days
he was
at
good at
Houston. That's
Houston,
where
no.
he really made
That's
his
where he
name
made
for
his
it.
name, yeah.
But then they got rid of him at Texas for Sarkisian, who is still there.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And they're doing really well. They obviously didn't see what they needed to in him. And I think FAU's problems run deeper than just him.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't think he was the problem.
Their
O-line was terrible. Their quarterback got hurt twice this season.
Yep.
And now he's out for the season
Yeah,
with the collarbone. And their defense wasn't good. But it's not like Herman was calling the defensive plays and he was calling the offensive plays.
No, he didn't even call the offensive plays until like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, is that what it
Yeah.
was? Okay, well, you can only...
You
can only do so much when
Right.
your O-line sucks. And it's the same thing
Agreed.
with they got Eli up and out of New York. He had no O-line. He couldn't move.
Right.
I'll admit, but... And then, also just for, like, publicity standpoint, I mean, I go to FAU. They have Herman's face and his signature everywhere.
I bet.
So it's like, why? With 2 games left in the season, you might lose whatever fans you had left coming out. You know what I mean?
But it doesn't even... You're trying to build something. Like, Rome wasn't built in a day, is the saying. Like,
Right.
it takes years of... Especially at a school where you do have talent around. Like, you can come down here.
And you can attract it,
You can attract it. Like, if you start showing progression... It's not even that you have to win. Just show progression. Like, show that you're on the right track to get better. Like, show the schools behind you. Show your athletic director is willing to put in the effort to get better people. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you start showing that, that's how you become a successful program. Whereas, if you have a coach, you just hired him because you hired him, and the AD's just like, okay, well, we'll give him a couple years. If he does well, I look like a genius. If he doesn't do well, I'll fire his ass. Like, that shit, that's what bothers me. That's what kills me. So, like, you know, like I said, with Indiana, they play Ohio State this year, or at Ohio State this week. They're fucking 11-0 or 10-0, whatever they are. Like, they're 1 in a million chance to just have a new coach come in, and boom, they're successful. They did great in the transfer portal. The kids they got, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how hard that is. Do you know how unlikely that is in this day and age? Like, even if they go into Ohio State and lose by a touchdown, I still believe Indiana will end up making the playoffs.
Yeah, they shouldn't drop 8 spots.
I mean, they definitely can. Georgia dropped 5, and they lost.
Well, Georgia has 2 losses, right?
Well, that's
One
what
of
I'm
them was
saying.
pretty
But
bad.
they play in the SEC. And then Army beating Notre Dame. Does that put them to the 12th spot? Because I'm putting.
I think it would, especially because Navy was also they kind of.
Well, now Navy's got 2.
Off,
well, they got 2 losses now. 3, and they got
Navy started really
They
well.
got smoked by Tulane. That was really bad.
Right.
That was really bad. I watched that game. That was
Navy started really well their
Yeah.
season. So did Army.
7-0.
Army kept it up. Navy lost to Notre Dame. That was their first loss.
Right.
So if
2 in a row.
if Army
They can win.
beats Notre Dame, then I think that they definitely deserve that
they
spot.
deserve-
I think that it would be good for
and
TV.
and
it
it would be a undefeated top conference team. So with regards to how the playoff bracket works, they should be granted that Power 5.
Army's 9-0.
That's what I'm saying.
So
Well, the other thing is, how could you tell me that Boise State, as a Mountain West, is better than an undefeated Army? Because they're the conference champs too. How are you gonna say, because they lost to Oregon? Notre Dame's what, 9-1? Like, there's no excuse there. I don't know. I see Penn State not making it. I see a couple.
not making it. Period.
Yeah.
Top 4. Or?
No, I think they'll be out.
My.
I think Penn State's gonna get another L before the end of the season. I think there's gonna be maybe two loss SEC teams.
Well,
I think
Penn State
Maryland's.
plays
I think
Minnesota,
Maryland's a trap game.
At Penn State though.
I think it's a trap
Oh
game.
me, oh my.
Who they got this weekend? Minnesota, you said?
Minnesota, yeah.
At Minnesota,
No. Oh, yeah, sure.
I don't know. Maybe. Could be. I don't know. Trap game is definitely the Maryland game for sure. That's the trap game for sure. Because Maryland can score. That's why.
Right.
So if their defense shows up, they'll be fine. But if Maryland comes out to play, could be bad. But anyways, let's get back into, with regards to football. We'll go into now talking about college coaches getting fired, NFL coaches, NFL GMs getting fired. You ain't never heard of GM getting fired in the middle of the season.
Oh, no?
No, that is unheard of. I mean, that means whatever was happening behind the scenes that nobody knows about.
You think the GM was responsible for firing Salah?
No, that was all Woody.
Oh, wow.
That was all Woody. I think all of this is all Woody. I mean,
the Jets and the Giants ownership is just...
Well, that's... Did you see what Pat McAfee talked about today? Or not, was it today? Maybe yesterday. Either way, it was about... it was just asking J.J. Watt what he would do if he was commissioner for the day. And he was like... Yeah, you know about relegation.
Oh, relegation. And promotion.
So it was talking about relegation for teams in the NFL that haven't won a game in like 15 to 20 years, a playoff game in 15 to 20 years. You have to lose ownership instead of going down a league. You lose ownership of that team. So you have to basically sell the team, and then. You have to basically, there would have to be rules, regulations that you can't just year 14, you start trading all your draft picks and stuff like that. And then the next guy comes in year 15. Well, I don't have any fucking draft picks.
I always thought relegation and promotion was really interesting. Obviously, they do that in soccer.
Well, I think we should do it now that we have the UFL and a couple other leagues.
Yeah.
Like you want to really make shit interesting.
The issue is
here.
that the talent gap with the American sports is just, or the American dominated sports, is just too big compared to your soccers when you have so many players that
across
really
the world
grind from a young age, and so many teams. Like, soccer is an international sport, so you're naturally going to have a lot more people.
Right.
American football and basketball are American sports,
That's
so
it.
The rest of the world's still
catching
on. So
at a youth level, professionally, there's been some teams that can play. I mean, football, American football.
They should start by doing exhibitions between NFL teams.
Well, that's
and
why they want to
UFL
move. That's
teams.
why they're pushing so hard for the international side too, to get international growth going, because they know the American side is great, but if you can start putting teams across the world and funneling talent across the world, which is, again, it starts with creating youth systems to grow your sport, and then you can start farming out those kids like Chelsea does, Real Madrid, that have kids in their camps and their teams from 10 years old. And how you even know a 10-year-old is going to be the next Messi? Got me, So, but it was just an interesting thought to hear, like, you ain't won a playoff game in 15, 20 years. All right, sell the team. Somebody else's chance. And I thought that was crazy. I would love to just watch an owner kind of like year 14 start like, what do we got to do to win? A lot of them don't know ball. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of owners just have the money to own. Like Steve Ballmer, like he's probably one of the only guys that is so diehard about his team. Like Jerry Jones, like at every game, stuff like that. Like this man is, screaming in the fan zone, all that stuff. Like you don't find too many owners like that. So to kind of spread the wealth, and it's not like they would lose money. Like every team value goes up. So even in those 10 years, 15 years, you're still gonna make billions of dollars if you have to sell the team.
Right.
So you're never gonna have a loss.
No.
But it would be hilarious to watch some of these teams like, what do we got to do to win? I'm trying to make it to the playoffs. I'm not losing my team. like the amount of...
You have to start earlier.
That's what I'm saying. Like most of these guys would never get it. It would be hilarious. But yeah, I mean, that would be cool. And I mean, really, you wouldn't... I think that could maybe in the next 5 years be something thought of with regards to the relegation side, because I don't know, man. I mean, like, NFL has got to figure out something. Like, the popularity of the sport is there, and it needs to keep growing. But what that's going to be to keep growing, got me. Because I'm diehard, so like it doesn't matter to me. Like I'm gonna be a fan in 15 years, in 30 years, it doesn't matter.
I mean, that's an interesting topic. You look at basketball viewership is declining. I mean, I don't know what the numbers are in football. I think football has been on the upswing.
Yeah, always.
But what are we gonna do about basketball? Is it too many games?
No, it's you got to pick your new face. You gotta pick your face.
That's all it is.
Yes. Right. Find out where you're gonna go the next 10 years. Like figure it out. LeBron's done. The era's over. CP3, Dwayne Wade, all those guys are all gone. Time to move on. It's time to find your new breed. It's time to find the kids that you're willing to put in the extra effort to promote. They don't really even bump Victor Wembanyama. Like, you got a freak of nature. Like, I get he's foreign, but like, even still, like, show the guy some love. Like, give him some better game time. Like, let America see what he can do. Like, you know, I don't know. Just for me, like, as a sports fan in general, like, I don't even care on the agent side. On the agent side, like, the way they go about, you know, some of the scouting and stuff, like, they go so far in depth in the overseas. It's like hard. Like the college rankings, like, if you're not a one and done, and you're now, like, a lot of teams are like done with the one and dones. They don't want to look at them unless they're a, you know, Cooper Flag, somebody of a generation. They want the Dalton Kincaids now. They want the guys that are 3 years of progression, and then they go to a Tennessee and they ball the fuck out for the year.
Right.
You know, they want to see what you can do. It's like kind of like Denver. Denver's in a perfect position like that. You know, 2 years at FIU, 2 years at Auburn.
Right.
What can he do now? What's he gonna be able to do this big season of being with a power-studded team now? So, you know, again, you know, where the NBA goes with how they want to. You all right? Got something in your eye?
Yeah, it's okay. Keep going.
All right. I mean,
I'm good now.
Really, with regards to where the NBA
direction that the NBA wants to go.
I mean, what are your thoughts on it? You're the NBA aficionado. You watch more games than I do, for sure. Like, when you watch the games, like, do you agree that the games are just not as intense throughout the year? Like, even these the NBA Cup, like, does this interest you as a fan?
Does
it do anything? No, exactly.
I watched the game last night. It was just another game, you know. Maybe in-person turnout is better because it means something, but
I mean, for me,
it's like, okay, being in Vegas, that might be cool. I don't know how that works for viewership. You know, they might say, oh, it's different. It's a neutral site. It's in Vegas, blah, blah, blah. Maybe I'll watch that. But it's not even just like turning on the TV and watching. Like you said, it's the stories. It's the action.
But I mean, at least like college basketball is always on the up. Like college basketball, I feel like it's got a huge year ahead of it.
I think hockey, too.
Oh, yeah, hockey for sure. I think hockey has gone crazy up. I think hockey has really hit the stride of popularity with regards to new fan bases. Especially when you bring a
championship to a new fan base.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Base, but you bring a championship to a fan base that's never had one before.
Right. And the possibility of going back to back.
Absolutely.
Like a future of a
dense area like South Florida.
Dude, you've got from Jupiter down to Miami. You hit 3 different counties the size of most states. You know?
Yeah.
So
that is true.
I'm saying. So that's why I never understood why the Marlins changed their name. Like, why would I want to be the Miami Marlins? Be the Florida Marlins. Then you have a fan bases from Jupiter to Miami. Instead, now you cut off Broward County because Broward County doesn't want to be associated with Miami, and Palm Beach County doesn't want to be associated with Miami. Right. You know, so I never understood that one. Right. But you know, again, even with regards to the NBA losing viewership and stuff, you know, I think you said kind of a good point of, is it games? Maybe you go the college bracket. You do 50 games. You know, they only do 30 something.
Right.
You know, 15.
Some people have said that too many teams make the playoffs.
That too. I believe that. That I agree with. I agree that it's too open to make
maybe
playoffs.
Just 8 should play 9 for the 8th seed. And that's it.
That's it. I agree. That's it.
Because I do agree that there are some times where 2 very evenly matched teams, you know, one gets in, one doesn't.
No, yes, I agree.
maybe 8 plays 9. 10 is like I think 10 might be a little too much.
10's down there. Like, dude, you should be grateful that we're talking to you.
And another thing is that the finals. I'm sure you remember they used to put the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
All of that. Well, they put the Euro. They put the Euro Cup thing
the
on
Emirates.
it. The Emirates. They put that dead center on the court.
That's what I was thinking.
Like, are we kidding?
You can do all this, but you can't even put the finals logo.
Anything. Literally anything.
They don't even put the finals logo anymore.
Oh god.
You know what I mean?
NBA, get it together, man. Like I'm speaking as a fan. Like I can't support something that just literally gives subpar effort. Like, show me what we're doing.
So much money.
So show me we can do better. Like show me we can get better. Like show me the future of what this league. Yeah, show me as a fan why I should continually watch 80 something games on TV.
Right.
You know, that's my thing. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, the NBA. I hope they've got something in the books. Like I hope they got something planned.
Something else, kind of on the flip side, but on the upswing. Women's volleyball, college women's volleyball.
I mean, huge. I mean, I believe, like, so these are a couple companies that we work with. Era One, they're doing our own AC Fitzpatrick. They're doing her own custom ball. So we just want to show a couple samples out here for you guys. She's the first ever NIL client athlete to ever have her own ball ever. So shout out to AC. I'm gonna see you this weekend. Can't wait. But yeah, women's volleyball. And you know me, I've preached it before. I'll preach it again. The upside of women's volleyball compared to the WNBA, it's not even close.
I think volleyball is exciting.
Shit's so good.
When you have what? We had that volleyball match. I think it was Nebraska versus
and they sold out.
Ohio State, Wisconsin.
And they sold out the football arena.
Like,
what WNBA team could do that? That doesn't have Caitlin Clark.
Oh, well, I was say, they did do that.
See. Take out Caitlin Clark.
Nowadays, nothing.
There was nobody on Wisconsin I mean, there were, take it back. There wasn't a Caitlin Clark on either one of those teams, is what I mean.
What, for volleyball?
For volleyball. They were just two really good teams that people wanted to watch.
Yeah.
80,000 people wanted to watch them. That's crazy. So
good for them.
But CBS, what we were gonna say is CBS gave them a TV deal for the upcoming Pro Volleyball Federation, which again unheard of. I mean, it took the WNBA years.
Oh, it's pro volleyball.
Pro volleyball.
College. Okay.
Yeah, but no.
I mean, college has one.
Well, college already has one. Yeah. They're NCAA, so they have their entire tournament like March Madness. So that's all recorded.
That's great though. It's good for the visibility of women's sports.
Hell yeah! I mean, at this point,
volleyball. When I think of volleyball, I think of women. You know what I mean?
That's like.
But when you think of football, you think of men.
But when you think of basketball, you think of what?
Think of men.
Exactly.
Think of men.
There will always,
to be honest,
no matter what.
Not that the women don't do an excellent job.
No. It's not that. And it's never been that. It's never been a comparison. It's legitimately two different sports. Yeah,
yes,
it's basketball.
It's best at what they do, but
yes,
basketball is
a male-dominated sport. Period. And it's nothing. Again, it's nothing on the girls with regards to.
No, absolutely not.
But women's volleyball is, even when you just say volleyball, is looked at as a woman-dominated sport, which is unheard of.
I'd say so.
Other than gymnastics, what other sport, and cheerleading, what other sport is a female-dominated sport? Those are the only three.
Cross country, track.
I'd still
track
say,
is like even.
I would say track is still. I mean, you think track? I'd still think the fastest person in the world would be a man. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, I know what your thought process is with regards to that. But again, the fact that they got a TV deal, and they're technically, I think this is only their
something.
I think this is only their second year.
There must be some sort of return.
There has to be.
Some investment.
Well, it costs them nothing because like all their stadiums are all. I don't want to say
like
college.
In the same area.
No.
It's
not. Well, that's smaller for sure. But like with regards to the actual the teams itself, it's like you don't have to pack out huge arenas because they're like the WNBA they don't have their own arenas, right?
Not all of them.
Like they all play at the male arenas, right?
Oh,
like the New York Liberty, they play.
except like the Aces,
Oh, they
technically.
well, no, they still play at the T-Mobile, but
Yeah.
but that's not their own stadium. Well, that's because their own stadium because
I don't think any of them have their
right.
own.
That's what I'm saying. So they're playing in
maybe like Connecticut Sun,
Maybe.
because
I'd have to look that up. But anyways, what I was gonna say is that they have to fill out big boy arenas. You know, it's not like, and it's nothing on them. It's just that's a lot of people to fill up. You know, even guys. I mean, look at the Miami Heat. They have a hard time filling that up, and that's only what 35,000.
Yeah, it's on the smaller side.
Yeah, it's small. It's on the smaller side of the
It's
arena.
expensive though, and it's hard to get down
Hell
to
yeah,
Miami.
that's another thing with the NBA. We can go off that too. They take forever. They take so much money just to watch a regular season game. Like, give me $60 seats to let me just sit down in the normal seats.
Right.
Like, I'm not trying to spend $180 on a game that I'm gonna watch half-ass effort for 3 quarters, and then in the 4th quarter we finally take it up a notch. Like, bro, give me some action. Give me 60 games. You know, we can do the cup. I don't mind the cup. I don't think I mind the cup. I think I've come to the conclusion where it doesn't bother me, and I like the intensity. I like that the young guys want to fight for something.
Yeah.
But the older guys, I feel like it's kind of nonchalant to them. They don't really, you know, it's kind of whatever to them. But the young guys, I feel like they want to win it, which I'm okay with, because the young guys, again, where the NBA goes now, with face of the league, all that, you know, that's my biggest
Gotta
thing.
make a name.
Yep. Somebody, anybody, pick somebody at this point, please, for the love of God. So, but yeah, I think we'll wrap it up for this episode. We will be back. Well, I guess we'll take Thanksgiving. I mean,
Yeah, Thanksgiving break.
I won't be
guess.
here. I'm in Hawaii till
Alright.
Thursday, so we'll do next week. Do maybe Sunday. Maybe we'll do a daytime episode. We haven't done a daytime episode in like 2 weeks now. You around? Are you around next weekend? After Thanksgiving?
Yeah, maybe.
Alright,
I
we'll
have
figure it
to
out.
check
We'll
on
figure it
that.
out. Anyways, thanks for coming for another episode of No Client Agent Privilege, aka NoCAP Podcast. It's your boy Will, your boy Evan, and we are out.
Peace.